Oh, come on up here. Come on up here. Give her a mic. She's coming on this side here. The lady that's coming to minister, we have known them. Pam and I have known their family, she and her husband and children, I guess almost as long as we've lived in Cleveland, Tennessee. Met them at the South Cleveland Church years ago when I preached a revival. And they work close at the North Cleveland Church of God in Cleveland, Tennessee, which is a great church under Pastor Mitch Maloney. We preached a 5-week revival there back, when was it, last year? Last year. And Ginger has an amazing testimony, and it really, real amazing. And it's real amazing. It'll take a while to tell it, what God did for her. She was under a terrible spirit of fear. And she'll even tell you, if you saw the pictures of now before, very overweight, and God supernaturally delivered her and supernaturally took the weight off. I mean supernaturally. You're going to say, well, I've never heard of that. Well, you need to hear of it because it happened. And it's been an incredible thing that God has done for her. And I'm really abbreviating this and butchering your testimony all to pieces probably. But has a great ministry, is on the praise team at the church there. And this is her first time, I think, to be in camp meeting with us to actually minister. And I want her to come and bless you. She's got a beautiful voice. And just let's enter into the presence of God. And for the glory of God, let's welcome her to camp meeting. Would you do that? Amen. Ginger Smith. Come on, Ginger.
Well, Perry's right. Up until about 4.5 years ago, I was in prison. Not in the prison that most of you picture in your mind when I say that, but I was in a prison of major clinical depression and fear of death. I was having panic attacks day and night, anywhere lasting from 10 minutes to 4 hours at a time. I couldn't leave my house a lot of the time. When I could leave my house, I had to have somebody with me because I was afraid to be alone, because I was afraid I was going to die all the time. I was on between 120 and 150 tranquilizers a month. I was on about 90 antidepressants a month. I was going to 3 different psychiatrists trying to find out what was wrong with me. When what I needed all along was a supernatural touch from God, because what was wrong with me was not a physical problem, it was a spiritual problem. It was a spirit of fear, and there's no medication in this world that can medicate that. I'm not preaching against medication. There are times when you have to have it, but in my case, you can't medicate a spirit, which was what had attached itself to me. And what I needed was the presence and the power of God to come in my life, which is exactly what happened 4.5 years ago. When it happened, I got off all the medication. I dropped nearly 100 pounds in just a few months. And that wasn't because I decided to eat better, take fen-phen. It was the presence of God became so strong on me day and night that I literally could not pick a fork up to eat. And I mean that literally. I mean, my family and friends will tell you I ate nothing hardly for about 9 months. And the weight just dropped off. They started having to carry me in and out of church services because the presence of God was so strong on me all the time. I couldn't stand up. It would hit when I was in restaurants. It would hit when I was in the mall. It would hit when I was in Walmart. And see, I was used to having to leave stores because a panic attack would hit, because the spirit of fear would attack. And I'd have to flee and leave groceries, buggyfuls of groceries. I'd have to leave clothes over racks because the enemy would attack and I would have to get out. Well, then all of a sudden, 4.5 years ago, I was having to leave, but for a whole different reason than what I was having to leave before. God is awesome. So when I stand here today and tell you I'm a whole new person than I was a few years ago, trust me, I'm a whole new person inside and out, because what he did on the inside of me simply manifested on the outside. Because when he changes you on the inside, he changes you on the outside too. And when I tell you that he has become... I've been a Christian and spirit-filled practically my whole life. But when I tell you that I finally really got to know him, I really finally got to know him for about 4.5 years ago. And he has become the love of my life. He has become the breath that I breathe. He has become the water that I need to drink, the food I need to eat. He has become the lover of my soul. He has become everything wrapped up in one package that I found that I needed in my life. And if you're sitting here today and you feel like you're at the end of your rope and you said, man, I've been battling with this for years. I don't care if it's been 28 days or 28 years. Whatever it is that's wrong, whatever the enemy's tried to attach to you, whatever he's tried to bind you with or inflict on your body, God can take care of it this morning without any man ever having to lay a hand on you while we're worshiping, while the word's going forth. God can reach down and supernaturally, just like that, like he did for me, and he can wipe all that out. He can lift all the bondage off you. He can snap those chains and lift the weight off of you this morning. Don't leave this camp meeting without God doing what he wants to do in your life today. When he passes by, you reach out and grab hold of him and don't let go till you get what you need from him today.